What's up? This is Ariel with Goldface Family, and I wanted to do a follow-up just a little small video on still the topic of Despicable Business. And on today's brief synopsis is Citi Bank, okay? So this is another despicable fucking business that I personally have experience with, having to do with student loans. And like I said, I like to air out who and what fucking businesses act in a despicable way. That way you know how to navigate certain things. So some of y'all never been to college, you're not going to college because of how much money it costs. You're well aware of, the student loan situation in this country and how motherfuckers will be broke for the next 50 fucking years trying to pay off student loans. And my plan for damn sure is not to be one of those individuals, but let me just give you a little bit of information about how Citi Bank and Kaplan University, and it may not even be called that because it's literally a fucking trash institution, and how they played the fuck out of me, and how they essentially robbed me. So I was going to Kaplan University. It's this online school. I was going there while I was in Alaska, going for, I think it was a criminal justice degree. And what I didn't know at the time was that they did classes based on quarter credits. And if you ever had a discussion with a counselor from a school, if you ask, they'll tell you, quarter credits have less weight than semester credits. So if you've been to a normal or a regular ass university, you know that you are 9 times out of 10, you're on a semester credit type of situation versus quarter credits. They're worth less. And not worthless, but just worth less, right? So if you go to try to transfer those credits to somewhere else, they're not going to have as much weight as if you had semester credits. So that's one bit of info. Anytime you go to school, make sure that you ask the counselor, or you ask your academic advisor, you ask whoever the fuck it is that you're having a conversation with, especially when it comes to your money. You're asking them, are these quarter credits or these semester credits? Because that affects how long you're gonna be in school, but it also affects, if you decide to go to another school, how much weight that those credits are going to give you. Okay, so out of Kaplan, I forget how many credits I have, but in the end, when I went to the military and I tried to use those credits to get ranked, they were worth less. And I don't mean worth less, I mean they were worthless. They didn't mean shit. Zip, zilch, nafa, now, okay? Nothing at all. They didn't mean shit, okay? When I went to other universities, like to finish my degree, it was still the same thing. They were worth less. Not worthless, but worth less. Meaning they didn't count towards a whole lot of shit, if anything at all. So be mindful of that. I will say, as a whole, Kaplan was trash. Period. That's just my opinion. I don't give a fuck what you think. You can go and you can waste your money and find out for certain. But I tell you, from my opinion and from my experience, that shit was trash. Period. So in the end, this is how Citi Bank played a part. So at Kaplan, there was a financial ass flake who kept calling me to ask me to fill out money kept calling me to ask me to fill out paperwork to get school money. And I couldn't figure out why, because I was like, well, damn, don't you only ask for school money like once, twice a fucking year? But it seemed like every time I turned around, this motherfucker was asking me to ask for some more money. And I was just like, this don't seem right. But if I need more money to go to school, it's what it is. So it turns out that not only had I applied for like student loans like through the government, but these motherfuckers had me applying for private fucking loans, okay? And 2 of these private fucking loans came from Citi Bank. So this is how much money I got from Citi Bank. And this is one loan. One loan was $2,721. The other loan was $3,167. Now do some hot ass math on that, and you get a total of $5,888. Citi Bank wants me to pay those loans back for 20 fucking years, okay? 20, 2 and a fucking 0. 20 fucking years they want me to pay back $5,888, okay? So over the course of that, there's a variable interest rate. Be careful of those bitches, because if they vary, they go up and motherfucking down. It's flexible. It's up and it's down. It's up and it's down. You don't want that. If you ever get a fucking loan, I would advise you to get some fixed rate shit. That way your shit stay constant unless you're gonna refinance that bitch. Okay? So for a total of $5,888, Citi Bank wants back $31,046. $31,046 they want me to pay back on a total of $5,888 in loans. I don't know about you fucking friends, okay? But that shit is predatory to me. This is from a motherfucker who had no income, no job, no cosigner, no shit. They loan me $5,800 fucking dollars on a personal loan and want me to pay them back over 20 fucking years, over $31,000. That shit is predatory at best. At best, that shit preyed on a dumbass 20-something-year-old fucking person who didn't have a degree, who didn't have a fucking job, who didn't have a cosigner. Number one, who the fucking go out now or even 5 or 10 years ago and get a fucking loan with no fucking income? Secondly, if I had the sense that a roach had back then and even could comprehend what the fuck dumb shit I had signed up for, I would have never signed up to give a motherfucker an additional $25,000. $25,000 for a $5,800 fucking loan. So that to me, not only was it predatory, but that's some despicable fucking shit that a financial institution will wrap up a motherfucker trying to go to school and that type of fucking lending. That isn't an institution that gives a fuck about people. That's an institution that takes advantage of motherfucking people. Period. Bottom line, end of motherfucking discussion. The numbers tell it for the motherfucking selves. The numbers tell you what the fuck kind of business these motherfuckers engage in, and that's despicable. So knowing what I know now, I don't engage with businesses like motherfucking Citi Bank because they engage in this type of despicable motherfucking business. To wrap a motherfucker up, a 20-year-old, to wrap them up in some financial bullshit for 20 fucking years behind a 4-figure loan and have a motherfucker paying back 5 motherfucking figures over 20 years. What fucking loan do you hold for 20 fucking years? A mortgage. And that's the fuck it. You don't pay a car loan back for 20 fucking years. Your car ain't gonna last for 20 motherfucking years. This hot ass degree that I didn't get from this motherfucking school isn't paying for shit. And it damn sure isn't or wasn't going to pay for 20 years worth of motherfucking loan money. So be mindful of who the fuck you borrow money from. Be mindful of their motherfucking practices. Be mindful of interest rates. Be mindful of how often a motherfucker asks you to fill out motherfucking paperwork to get motherfucking money. Because it's typically not in your interest. It's typically not going to be in your best interest. Now, sure, loans accrue interest rates, and that's cool. I paid off a whole motherfucking car before. That's cool. But in these types of circumstances, when a motherfucker wants you to pay back 4+ times the amount that you fucking borrowed, that's not a motherfucking institution that is for the people. That's not a motherfucking institution that's for your advancement. That's a motherfucking institution that would like to keep your ass in a motherfucking chokehold for 20 motherfucking years. Now, sure, if my degree would have done what it should do, in theory, I could come up with a lump sum of money out of my asshole. But the thing about this is, I've been paying on these motherfucking loans for a decade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 motherfucking years, 10 años, I've been paying back on these motherfucking loans. Do you know what the principal balance is on these loans? Almost as much as the fuck they were when the money got loaned to me, okay? That's how much of my interest goes, or excuse me, that's how much of my payment goes to the motherfucking interest and not to the principal. Which is why, if I paid back what the fuck they wanted me to pay back on a monthly basis, it would take me 20 fucking years to pay them back. So, like I say, Despicable Business, that is some real ass shit, and it's a lot of motherfuckers who engage in despicable business. But it's imperative for you as a borrower, if that's what you end up being, and even if you borrow on behalf of your children, it is imperative that you explain to them how loans work, how loans will fuck you over, how companies' benefit is to fuck you so that you'll be paying them back for the better part of your motherfucking life. It is a real meaningful conversation that motherfuckers have about student loan repayment. But this is a student loan that would not qualify for that type of shit. Why? Because these motherfuckers had me thinking, this school had me thinking I was applying for government loans, when in reality I was applying for a private loan, which is like going to the bank and saying, hey, Massa, can I get a few $1,000s? And he's like, yeah, fish, but it's gonna cost you $16,000. So does that work for you? That's what the fuck it's like to get a private loan. To get a student loan, it's like you're getting money from the government, and somewhere along the way, there might be some forgiveness there. But when it comes to these other fucking loans, private loans, those are not loans that are going to qualify for that type of shit. Those are not loans that are going to qualify for the deferment, for the don't call them motherfuckers and harass them type of loans. The only way that you get a break from these types of fucking loans is A, if you just don't pay, and B, if you are enrolled in school. That means you got to stay enrolled in school for the rest of your life. Okay? So, you decide, right? You can stay enrolled in school for the rest of your life, okay? And just take a class or 2 or 10 at a time and just literally be enrolled in school for the next 30 fucking years until you croak, okay? Because that's likely to happen before these fucking loans get paid off. Don't pay them, and you can see what the repercussions of that are. I wouldn't advise that don't do that. If you don't give them shit but $5, give them some shit. And then the other thing is, beg, right? Beg, sell something to get these fucking loans paid off, because that's the only way you're gonna get from up under them. So, this is my personal experience with a despicable fucking institution, financial institution like Citi Bank, who for a long time I have felt some type of way. Oh, and also no, they don't audit this shit. They don't audit these loans. So if you pay Citi Bank back for 5 or 10 years and then they sell your loan to another company, there's no audit of these loans so that you can make sure that all the monies that you've been paying in are properly accounted for. The interest is properly accounted for. The principal's you're not getting that shit. If you want an audit on your account, you're going to have to request all the information and then give it to a CPA or some kind of forensic accountant, which costs coins to have them review all the information and make sure that you haven't been thoroughly robbed, or that there's not some pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters missing somewhere in this equation. So, friends, when you think about how your kids is going to go to college, if that's something that you give a fuck about, if it's something that your kids give a fuck about, if it's something that you're planning for, if you plan on going to college, be extremely mindful about who you get money from, what the terms of those agreements are, what you can and you can't do without, and make an informed decision. Ask all the questions that you need to ask, because people will take financial institutions and educational institutions will take full advantage of your ignorance and have you keep on getting money to funnel into their shitstorm of a school, so that you can very well end up with no degree, but then you're also going to end up under fucking water with debt that you cannot pay back, and that fucking degree that they gave you, that they sold your ass, okay, that you'd have been better off getting from motherfucking Walmart, is never going to pay back, period. So that's my advice to y'all. This is Despicable Business, and that's a little golden nugget for you to put in your front and your back pocket, so that you know who to fuck with, who not to fuck with. And I'm out.